Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Hope Battlecruiser. So the Hope Battlecruiser is the next ship in my Battlecruiser series, and that means that this is a Class C ship that has a good crew capacity, plenty of beds for people to sleep in, enough fuel to get basically anywhere you want to go, at least 1,000 cargo, and maintaining the 27 light year jump range minimum. So let's go ahead. We're going to take an interior tour, and then I will show you how it's built, and then we will take it out for a test drive in Serpentis. All right. So immediately on entering, we find ourselves in the 2x1 armory. Straight ahead, you can see that we have our docking access. And that means that this hab here is the central access point for the entire ship. Moving back, we have ourselves the Hope Tech 2x3 galley, or mess hall, I should say. And everything else branches off from this mess hall. So, right over here, we have our crew relaxation area. Then, over here, we have two hallways, and each of these are leading into a 2x1 all-in-one. Coming on over here, we enter into the meal prep area, and we can see that back here we have a hallway branching off to the infirmary, and over here the hallway branches off into another 2x1 all-in-one. Then over in the storage closet there's a ladder going down. Hey, look, it leads to more storage. Here we have the Hope Tech 3x3 cargo hall. Hopping on up, we have these two ladders that are leading upwards. Now, speaking quite frankly, there only should be one of these ladders here, because straight above we have the Hope Tech 2x1, or sorry, 1x1 companionway fuselage, and this is leading to our cockpit. And I'm using the 1x1 companionway fuselage because I want it to line up with the cockpit and also give me the three weapon mounts that are on it. However, the fuselages do not have side entry attachment points at all, so they only have front, back, and then bottom. Therefore, I had to put this 1x1 companionway here, which then let it go ahead and have the attachment points on these sides for my battle stations. And for my computer core. However, for some reason, it also decided that these two halves were still going to have a door between them, and that they both needed ladders down into the mess hall. One of these ladders should be removed. Honestly, probably that one. But you take what you can get. Finally, right back here, we have the captain's quarters. This is one case where I wish I could still have the door, even though I have the Hope Tech spine, because, you know, the captain might want a little bit of privacy, but you take what you can get. So that is the ship. Let's go ahead, take a look at how it's built.
Anything I can help you? Sure. How about it?
Alrighty. So step one is going to be going ahead and getting our colors in our palette. And as you can see here, I chose to go with a blue, gold, and black. All right, now that we got that, let's go ahead and delete the ship, and I'll show you how it's built. So we are Hope Tech only on this build, so we are of course starting with the Hope 4 landing bay. Next, we are going to go ahead and grab the armory. Behind the armory, we are going to grab the mess hall. Beneath the mess hall, we are going to go ahead and grab the Hope Tech cargo hall 3x3. Above the mess hall, I'm going to grab the 1x1 companionway, and then the fuselage A. On this side, I am now going to go ahead and grab the computer core. And on this side, I'm going to grab the battle stations. From here, I'm going to go ahead and place a spine in these three locations. And then I'm going to place a cross brace in these two. And this is how we get everything to branch out from that central mess hall. Next, let's go ahead and grab our 2x1s. So I have 3 2x1 all-in-ones, and then 1 captain's quarters. You can choose to make all of these basically whatever you would like, but for myself, I did 3 all-in-ones. This particular one here is the one that was the infirmary in the tour, and this one up here was the captain's quarters. All right. Next, we need to come on over here and we can grab our cockpit. And I'm using the Commander 500 bridge on this build. And then the Hope 11 Docker. All right. Next, because we're basically here anyways, let's go ahead and grab our landing gear. Now for this ship, I am using 4 Hope 6 landing gears. And then 2 Hope 55 landing gears. There we go. Next, let me go ahead and grab my shield. So for this ship, we are a Class C vessel, so I'm going to grab the Assurance SG-1800 shield generator. And then, to make it very obvious where I'm putting it, I'm just pulling this back. And this shield generator is going on this kind of little empty shelf right here. Now, one of the things I do want to note here is that you do not need to pull this off to get this here. I'm just doing that for extra visibility. Next, directly behind the shield and underneath the captain's quarters, I'm going to go ahead and grab my grav drive, which for this ship is going to be the RD-3000. However, we need that 36 grav jump thrust. If you wanted to, you could use any of the Class C grav drives instead, but it's not exactly needed. However, the 34 grav jump thrust from the J50 or the 31 from the SGD 3100 is going to be insufficient. All right. Next up, behind the grav drive, I'm going to grab my fuel tank, which is going to be the 900T HE3 tank. And then behind that, I'm going to grab my reactor, which is going to be a Pinch 8Z. Next, let's go ahead and grab our engines. Now for this ship, I am using 4 SAL 6330 engines. Now, anybody who's been playing for a while and been building their own Class C ships may look at this and go, why are you using the 6330s instead of the 6880s? So the 6880s are a better grav draw or engines than the 6330s. However, the 6330s are the best that you can get without doing any quests. So if you go into a new game plus or you just are ignoring the main quest, you can use your 6330s. If, however, you go through and you do the main quest, there is one of them that if you choose the correct options, you get to unlock the SAL 6880 engines. If you want more details on that, look elsewhere. I'm not going to go diving into those details. But for the same reasons why I don't go ahead and put the Vanguard weaponry on all of my ships, even though it's some of the best weaponry in the game, I am not using the 6880s because they are not available to you unless you reach a certain point in the main quest line. And if, as I said, you go into a new game plus and you decide, I don't want to do the quest lines, then um, you will not have those available to you. Enough ranting. Let's go ahead now and talk cargo. Now, for this ship, well, I could go ahead and just like hide a couple Galleon S204s. I decided to take advantage of the fact that Hope Tech does not have any side or bottom mounted greebling, and instead I'm going to go ahead and put on a bunch of the Gamma 1020 cargo holds myself. So I'm placing 1, 2, yep, go the right direction, 3, and 4, kind of under this little wing. Now I do need to flip the Hope 55 landing gear into place because it is ever so slightly clipping in right there. And then I can go ahead and place 5th, 6th, and 7th. Then I'm going to come on over to this side and repeat. There we go. Another 7 landing gear, or not landing gear, cargo, bringing us up to a total of 14 of these. Now, one other thing that I will note here is that I am using the 1020, which is dropping me to the mobility of about 77 so far. I still need some greebling and my weapons, so that's going to drop even further. However, if you want to have more mobility, you can go with the 1010s or the 1000s, or you can go ahead and go to your own Starship landing pad, or you can go to, say, the Red Mile, and you can change some of these out for shielded cargo holds instead. Now it says something's not connected. Where was that from? Ah, I see. There we go. Alrighty. So that is everything but the greebling. So let's come on over here to the structural tab. And I'm going to grab myself some radiators. Then I'm going to go ahead right here and grab a pipes 4. And then let's grab some nose Bs. And then we've got some nose A's. There we go. And now I've got some Hope Tech pipes 4. Alright. And then the Hope Tech Cap A's. Oh, come on. I'm trying to copy this. Alright. There we go. Then take these 4, copy them to here. Copy that to there, and then change the variant to the rear variant. Change this one to the mid. And then the rear. Alrighty. And that is all of my caps. And structural work. Jesus. Alright, so what's next? All that I've got here is weapons. So let's go ahead and scroll all the way on down. And I am using 3 obliterated 250 auto alpha beams. I am using 4 PBO 300 auto alpha turrets. And I'm using 3 obliterated 250 MEV alpha turrets. I have all these configured to face forward because that's what I find works best on extreme difficulty. However, you could very easily go ahead and adjust things to, say, cover your rear. Alright, so let me go ahead and assign my weapons. And then paint my ship. Alrighty, there we go. And now you can see the final stats right here before skills. And then over here, the final stats with my skills. Alright. The ship is built. Let's go ahead and take it out for a test drive. Alright, power is assigned. And let's go ahead and jump on out to Serpentis. Alright, looks like nobody's shown up here. So let's check out this hostile activity. Looks like I've got 3 targets here. Alrighty. And that was over fairly easy. Let's go ahead and gather our loot and wait for our engines to repair themselves. And we continue to wait for our engines to repair themselves. And now that we've gathered all of our loot, I'm out of patience. So let's head up another planet or two. That's kind of impressive. But it looks like nobody's going to come out and play over here. And once again, looks like nobody's going to come play over here. And did I scare everyone off? This is the quietest I've ever seen Serpentis. Okay. So, usually when I come out to Serpentis, there's a party at every planet. Um, Apparently today is just not my lucky day. There we go, finally, a friend. Now if only the friend had friends of his own. Um, yeah. Well, I don't know what's different about today, but apparently I am not getting the engagements that I normally would. So we'll give it one more try, and if we can't find some more friends to party with, we will call it a day then. Alrighty. Well, much to my disappointment and anybody else who was expecting to have some combat encounters, it seems like I have chased the Veyroon away from Serpentis, and they are not coming back. So, on that disappointment, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.